Hello everyone, in this video I'll be showing you a build guide for the HEXBLADE WARLOCK in Baldur's Gate 3. So this is coming with patch 8. I'm using the mod version, which is going to be identical to the in-game version that's coming with patch 8, as I reviewed both of them. But what's cool about the HEXBLADE is it makes it a very good single level drop if you wanted to take something like the Bard or the Paladin and use Charisma for your attack rolls, because you get the bind weapon, which lets you use Charisma instead of Strength or Dexterity for attack and damage rolls. This is perfect because it makes your character less multi-attribute dependent, because then they can use Charisma for both spell casting as well as weapon attacking. So very effective, and it'll give you that extra weapon attack. So yeah, that's one of the big benefits. But we also get the Hexblade's Curse, which you can place this curse on a target and it ends if the target dies or if it becomes incapacitated. And until the curse ends, you gain an additional 2 against the target for damage, and an attack roll of a 19 or 20 will be a critical hit, and if you take them out you get additional health. That's really the big focus of this. And we get to pick cantrips. You obviously want to take Eldritch Blast, and then for the second cantrip, Bone Chill can be really nice too to stop the target from healing, or Booming Blade, which is another really good choice that's coming with patch 8 as well. And for the spells, we're going to go with the Armor of Agathis and Arms of Hadar, as they're kind of the two best here. And for our ability points, 16 Dexterity and 16 Charisma. You can also take 17 Charisma and also increase that with the Hags here if you wanted to, but for the purpose of this, I'm just going to keep it 16 and 16 Dex with 14 Constitution. You can also swap these around if you want a bit more health, but the higher armor class is really nice. So we're going to roll with that. 16 Dexterity also will give you more initiative, so that's great. I'll also be covering what gear options we're going to be using. I'm just using an outfit right now for this, but I'll cover gear as well as combat in this video. At level 2, we get to choose our Eldritch Invocations and Agonizing Blast to add Charisma modifier to the damage, as well as the Repelling Blast to give a pushback. That's the best choice. Eldritch Blast is such a good cantrip, and that just further benefits it, so we're going to go with that. Now, as for the spells, I love Shield, but that +5 to armor class is not as great because it's going to use your level 5 spell slots at higher levels. Wrathful Smite can be okay to potentially frighten your target. We're going to go with that because some of the other options don't really scale as well to our level, and that just makes it difficult. Now, level 3, we get to choose a Pact Boon. Typically, we'd go Pact the Blade. That's the best choice for Warlock because Larian has made this really effective. However, we already get the ability to bind our Pact Weapon, making this actually kind of useless because we get all the same benefits from it. Pact the Chain and Pact the Tome are the best choices. So it really just depends. Pact the Chain gives you the Quasite, but you can also get a Quasite without having to take this. So we're going to go Pact the Tome. This gives us Guidance, Vicious Mockery, as well as Thorn Whip, which aren't really great here, but you're going to see later on why we take this. Now, for our next level spell, Hold Person is extremely useful. Misty Step's nice, but it doesn't scale well. It doesn't scale at all. Shatter can be good too, but Hold Person just gives us the best benefit because we can apply this to a target and then critical hit them at close range when we attack with our Pact Weapon. At level 4, we get to choose another cantrip, and you can go with like a Bone Chill here now. And then for our next level spell, Clouded Daggers is actually pretty underrated because it doesn't have a check, it just does straight up damage. So we can use that and kind of use that for crowd control. And we're going to use an ability score improvement to take up Charisma because it's an important stat for us. At level 5, we get our Deepened Pack, so Blade Pack holders will get an extra attack with their Pack Weapon. Then we can also get Animate Dead, Haste, and Call Lightning once per long rest with this, which is nice because we can continually cast that. Now, for our next level spell, Hunger of Hadar, very useful at this level, so we're going to go with that. And then we're going to take Devil's Sight here for the magical and non-magical dark vision up to 24 meters. So that lets us see inside of our clouds of darkness, which is really good, guys, really good. We can be pretty crazy with this, especially if you play as a drow and get a darkness spell too. At level 6, we get the Summon Spectre, so you can summon the soul of a perished target. So whenever we take out an enemy, we can summon a soul, and it'll fight, and it has half of our level in terms of health points. So it's not going to be very strong, but it's a nice option to have. And we get to pick another spell here. Vampiric Touch can be good. So Vampiric Touch or Fear for the making the target fearful in a cone, but we're going to go with Vampiric Touch for a little bit of extra healing, and we're going to want to get into melee range, so it's nice to have that there as another option. Now at level 5 or level 7, we get level 4 spells with things like Staggering Smite, which can possibly stagger our target, Phantasmal Killer, and Blight. Blight's the highest damage spell that we can get at this level, but Staggering Smite also fits our build, so we're going to go with that. Now we can also get some of these higher level spells, but if you have a mod that gives you some extra invocations, the Eldritch Smite is the best choice. since that's not part of the mod, I will just go with one of the more basic options, like the ability to cast Confusion with a Warlock spell slot, or getting these spells here, which are okay, but we'll go with Dreadful Word because Confusion can be very effective. At level 8, we get our choice in another spell, and we're going to go with Blade here just for another damaging spell, and we'll take an ability score improvement to take up our Charisma for better spell casting. At level 9, we get to choose another spell, and we get things like Cone of Cold and Hold Monster, with Cone of Cold being very strong with the 8d8 in a large radius, so we're going to take that. And then we're going to take Minions of Chaos for the Conjure Elemental without using a spell slot. This isn't going to be a Myrmidon, because it's only going to be level 5 spells, but it's still really nice. And we get the Armor of Hexes. Your Hex becomes more powerful. If the target of your curse hits you with an attack roll, you can use your reaction to roll and make the attack miss you, which is really nice. So we also get ourselves another cantrip, which we can take something like Minor Illusion to pull enemies together. And then we're going to go with Hold Monster or Banishing Smite, which is really effective, but Hold Monster is just a good choice there because of the crowd control being very, very effective. We get our Mystic Arcanum and another level 5 spell slot here, which is woohoo, exciting. And for the Mystic Arcanum, Circle of Death is just extremely effective. And we're going to go with another spell. And you go with Banishing Smite here. It's going to be pretty strong as the extra force damage. And at level 12, we get the Master's Hexblade Curse, which gives us the extra health and also additional damage on the target that we attack. We're going to take another spell here. I'll take Phantasmal Killer and Life Drinker for attacks me with your packed weapon will deal extra damage equal to your Charisma modifier. And then for our final feat, +5 initiative from Alert and Cannot Be Surprised is very effective. So now getting into the gear side of things, we're going to go with a combination of the Ballast Armor here, which makes enemies vulnerable to piercing, taking double damage from it, alongside taking the Infernal Rapier, which will also do piercing damage. And we can pair that with the Shield for a 23 armor class, which is really effective. I go with the Maskical Perception for increased attack rolls and initiative. We also got the Cloak Protection, Evasive Shoes, and Ring of Protection for best armor class, although you can swap those out if you want it on another character. Cryptlord Ring for the Create Undead spell, and the Amulet of Greater Health just for best Constitution and Concentration saving throws. And the Helldust Gloves just work perfectly here, but you can go with really any of the prior gear. It's all about the with this build, it's about your hexes and your bound pack weapon. Early game Fowler Alluve is a great sword to go with. You can go with that until you get the Ballast Armor and go psychic or go into the piercing damage. Now with this, we also get the you get ourselves, since we have the Cryptlord Ring, we get the Create Undead. We also get a Cambion, so we have a couple summons that makes this pretty strong. And then what's cool is, I guess I can't really do it right now because I have to swap out weapons. I should have did this first, is we can use someone else's staff for this free cast from that. But we also got a free cast from the Illithid ability, so we can use this to summon him. I like the Water Elemental because it applied Chilled, and then we can use Cone of Cold to deal double damage to anyone that got hit by that. And Pact of the Chain, we can use the Quasit, but I already have the cheeky Quasit here, so we got that to start combat off with. The Pact of the Tome also gives us some really fun spells like Haste, which is really effective in combat. So I'll show off what this does look like in combat here. So you always want to make sure that you do have your weapon bound, because that's going to give you the benefits of it. But one nice way is if you can get someone to create water for you, you can start off with a Cone of Cold, which is going to do a lot of damage. But since we are starting this combat fresh, we can just go in without it, and then we'll get into doing some melee attacks. Now, finding the perfect angle to be able to hit everyone with your Cone of Cold, oops, I dragged it off my skill bar, is going to be ideal because Cone of Cold hits a large number of targets, and you can see there I moved slightly, and I'm now able to hit the furthest reaches of each target, so that's ideal. Cone of Cold, just super effective spell because we hit so many targets and took out most of their health on most of these enemies, so that is perfect. And then we can just, if we use up our last spell slot, we can potentially take out the rest of these. But you also got Mind Blast, which can hit multiple targets too, so that can be really good. This one we do need to move a little bit away to get it fully hitting everyone, but this is going to blast really hard and hopefully take out the rest of these targets. So they saved on it, but everyone else got dropped by it. That's the nice thing about some of these attacks, is they hit extremely hard. And then we got, I guess they're not back here. There was some soldiers back there. We can't go too close to them, so we're going to try and pull them towards us. But we also got some nice, we got Call Lightning, which we can use, and we can continually call down with that. Or we can go with our good old faithful Eldritch Blast. Oh, we got our melee combatants right over here, so we'll go in and get into a fight with them here. So I guess we'll just go with a weapon attack. Should have actually, I can't use my curse on them because I use my bonus action, but yeah, that hits really hard. Safe to say that hits very hard. Now it appears that this doesn't actually give us the extra attack, but in Baldur's Gate 3's patch 8, it'll get the extra attack. So I should have taken Pact of the Blade there to fully show it off. But in patch 8 for this, you would want to take Pact of the Chain or Pact of the Tome, because otherwise Pact of the Blade is useless. So the nice thing about the Infernal Rapier is just beside it also doing piercing damage, you get these nice attackers here. So we can just go with our we can go with the Cambion here, and we'd like to charm a target, but if you have another target charm, that's fine too. He missed with his attack, that's fine. So what's nice about the Hexblade is you can actually give yourself some extra health by taking out enemies, and you got a lot of sustain, so that really does help. Hits fist in time. We got our little Quasid here. He's just gonna go in with the claw attack. I should have used the scare attack to start combat. If you know you're getting into a fight, use your Quasid to start off combat, because they're just going to be the best at getting things started. So that'll be ideal. Hopefully they don't use command on us. That would be definitely not cool. I don't know what is taking them so long. And for our water elemental, its main attack will apply chilled, so we want to use that if possible, because when its target is chilled, they'll take double cold damage, which is really nice. And they also get a warp, so you can use this to they walked a little bit. They can teleport away, and whenever they're teleported away, it's going to draw attacks different areas, so you can kind of bait enemies into a certain range. So I guess I didn't record that, but placed down a Hunger of Hadar there, and went in and attacked with Cone of Cold, and it took them out because they had less health. So with the Armor of Hexes, we can roll and give ourselves the ability to miss an attack that's going to hit us. 50% chance of succeeding, and it did not succeed. And our Elemental can get in and do what it does best with its Winter's Breath attack, dealing further cold damage, and it knocked them all down. It's awesome. And it's back to us, and what we can do is we can go with a nice Eldritch Blast and just give everyone the run around with that. Pushing them back, and we were able to get our Call the Weak off, which took out all of them, which leaves us with only a couple targets left. So with this, we can just full on pummel them with I guess we can try and drop one Eldritch Blast here. Maybe we'll take them out, and then we'll push them around. We'll see if that takes them out. It did, and that target is got half its health left. So we could also just use some of our Illithid abilities if you wanted to, but we'll just leave it at that. And our Cambion from the Infernal Rapier is really effective because it has the Rays of Fire, which is out of range, unfortunately. And our little Quasid's still doing his thing over there. And also our Elemental can also teleport a variety of ranges, so that makes it really effective at just getting in to just lay down damage, and that almost took them out, funny enough. We also got healing from our Hexblade's curse that we applied, and that was enough to take them out of the Psionic Dominance. Perfect. And we still got our attack animation up, which is kind of funny. So yeah, that is the Hexblade Warlock in Baldur's Gate 3. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Hit the subscribe button if you haven't already, and I'll see you all in the next video. This mod was made by LockStockRocket, and this will be coming in patch 8 to the base game.